Let's talk about focus. If you feel like your brain is constantly scattered, like you're being pulled in a million directions, you are definitely not alone. It's so common, right? And it's easy to think, ugh, what's wrong with me? But what if it's not you? What if the whole game is rigged against your attention? Well, today we're going to break down what the experts are saying is a full-on attack on our ability to focus, and, more importantly, how we can start to fight back.
But first, let me ask you something. Quick gut check. Are you watching this on double speed? Are you already scrubbing ahead looking at the chapter markers? Hey, no judgment. But as educator Amy Wang points out, if you are, this is probably exactly what you need to hear right now. That urge to just rush through everything, that's a symptom of the very thing we're about to tackle.
And the stakes here are, well, they're incredibly high. Author Daniel Pink doesn't mince words. He says if we don't get a handle on this, we are toast. And this isn't just about being more productive or checking off your to-do list. This is about our ability to learn, to grow, and, to actually connect with other human beings.
So, where does this all come from? The very first thing you need to get is that your struggle to focus is not some personal moral failing. It's a design feature of the world we're living in right now. Your attention is under a constant, coordinated, systematic attack.
And this system actually has a name. It's called the attention economy. Think about it. In this model, your focus isn't just a thing you have. It's a resource. It's a scarce commodity that some of the biggest companies in the world are literally designed to capture, to package up, and then sell to the highest bidder.
Psychiatrist Dr. Alok Kanoja, who you might know as Dr. K, has this really powerful way of putting it. He says we've all become attention farms. These platforms are engineered from the ground up to harvest the most valuable thing you own, your focus. Because once they have your eyes and your ears, they have a direct line to influence everything, what you think, what you buy, and even how you feel.
But here's the thing, blaming technology is just one piece of the puzzle. The real reason these apps and platforms are so crazy effective is because they've learned how to tap into a fundamental process that's already happening inside our own minds. Let's take a look at how the way we get distracted has changed. Okay, now what's so fascinating here is the difference in step 3. See, it used to be that you'd be working on something and naturally your mind would start to wander. But after a few minutes of that, it would just get bored and drift back to what you were doing. But today, there's a totally new step. The second our mind scatters, we have this instant escape hatch, endless algorithmic entertainment. And Dr. K explains that every single time we use our phone to escape that scattered feeling, it's like using a mental wheelchair. Sure, it feels easier in that moment, but over time, it's weakening our brain's natural muscle for returning to focus all on its own. We get hooked on that next notification, that next video, just to pull us out of our own heads. So if the problem is that we keep escaping our wandering mind, then the solution is, well, it's really counterintuitive. It's not about gritting your teeth and forcing yourself to focus harder. It's actually about learning to do the one thing we've been trained to avoid at all costs, being bored. And this, right here, is the absolute key. According to Dr. K, the superpower we need to build back up isn't really focus itself. It's the ability to tolerate boredom. It just means learning to sit with that antsy, scattered feeling for a minute without immediately reaching for your phone. If you can just do that, your mind will eventually get tired of floating around and it will naturally come back to the task. And all that bored or idle time, it is not wasted time. Not at all. It's when our brain is doing its most important work in the background. It's when we process emotions, lock in memories, and untangle complex problems. By filling every single empty moment with podcasts or videos, we're robbing our brains of this essential maintenance time, and that just leads to a pileup of unprocessed stress and anxiety. Okay, so we get the problem, and we get the surprising solution. But what does this actually look like in real life? How do we put this into practice? Let's build a simple, practical plan based on what all our experts recommend. The end goal here is something author Cal Newport calls deep work. That ability to really zero in on something tough without getting distracted. But a lot of us get the very first step completely wrong. We think deep work means locking ourselves in a quiet room. But this quote reveals something so interesting about how our brains work. Strategist Kenneth Chiarelli explains that our brains are fundamentally wired for survival. If you put yourself in total silence, a part of your brain actually goes on high alert, scanning for danger. To truly relax and to focus, our brain needs to feel safe. And that means having some predictable, non-threatening noise or information from our environment. So step 1 isn't about creating a sensory deprivation tank. It's about reducing those unpredictable interruptions. You got to fortify your environment.
Create no phone zones like the bedroom or the dinner table. Turn off every notification that isn't absolutely essential. And when that random thought pops into your head, oh, I need to buy milk. Don't just do it, write it down, and tell yourself you'll handle it later.
All right, step 2 is all about building rituals. These are signals that tell your brain when it's time to work and, just as important, when it's time to rest. First, prepare. Know exactly what you're trying to do. Second, use a starting cue. Could be a specific song, making a cup of tea, whatever, to signal it's go time. Third, work in cycles. Your focus naturally fades after about 90 minutes, so work in focused bursts. Fourth, take breaks before you're totally fried. And finally, this one is so important. Have a log-off ritual. Just closing your laptop and saying done gives your brain closure so it's not still spinning on work stuff hours later.
Now, if you do all these things, will you be more productive? Yes, for sure. But the real prize here, the real reason this matters, is so much bigger than your to-do list. When you reclaim your attention, you start to reclaim the very quality of your life and your relationships.
As Kaneta Chiarelli puts it so beautifully, our attention is one of the most powerful ways we show love. When you give someone your complete, undivided focus, no quick glances at your phone, you are sending them a powerful message. You're telling them, I see you, I hear you, you matter to me. That's the bedrock of real connection.
And really, this is what it all boils down to. In the powerful words of Dr. K, reclaiming your attention is reclaiming your life. Because when you think about it, your life is just the sum of all the things you've paid attention to. And if you don't choose where your attention goes, trust me, the algorithms will be more than happy to choose for you.
So, I'll leave you with this, one final thought. Take a look at your own life, your work, your family, your passions. What in your life truly, deeply deserves your full, undivided attention? The answer to that question, that's where you begin.